Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. We're going to be talking about Insecure, Season 4, Episode 5, Lowkey Movin On. Now, if you're watching this video, the assumption is that you're pretty caught up with Insecure and you already know what's going on. If not, please exit. This is a complete spoiler alert. I feel like if any episode should be discussed, it needs to be this one. I feel like Episode 5 is the most controversial episode in this season thus far. I've been seeing a lot of arguing, debates back and forth on Twitter and Instagram about who was wrong in this situation between Issa and Miley. But before we even get into all of that, I'm gonna call up some of my girls so that I can get some second opinions on things, right? All right, girls, let's talk about Issa and Miley's arguments, okay? So, we at the block party.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
Can we start from before she got to the block party that Miley didn't even want to go?
Oh, yeah, let's go back to that.
It was hanging on me.
Hey.
Like, it's not even, what do you even wear outside, girl? What?
So let's set the scene. Miley originally did not even want to go to the block party, and her whole little Asian bae man was like, no, you need to go. Like, just go. You're gonna have a good time. And what happened? She had a good time. She was dancing and everything, okay? I'm sorry I just did that, but it's like, you mad, but you really having a good time, and you acting like you not having a good time until she finally loosened up in the end, and they was all cool and whatnot. Now, I could see that she really was trying to talk to Issa at one point when she went over there and gave her the food or whatever, and then Issa got pulled away. But it's not. And you know what I noticed? You know what I noticed about?
I'm to your job, like, yo. I'm ready to talk to you right now. You're on
right, but then when Molly be at work and stuff, she wanna not talk to people or host people.
And what I've noticed about Molly is she always tries to bring up the most important conversations at the worst times, and it's always when like they're both preoccupied with something, and then she feels away because, well, we can't sit down and talk about it, and I feel like you just avoid the situation. No, sis, y'all need to just have an actual like conversation woman to woman, but y'all keep bringing it up at the worst times when y'all are in the middle of stuff. And I don't think that's just Molly, like I think that's both of them, like just finding bad times to communicate. Like when Molly kept trying to communicate with her and was like, are you still coming over for pie? And Issa just was like, I ain't feeling it no more. Maybe we could just do this another time. It just seems like there was a lot of built up energy behind that.
From my perspective on the friendship, they both are horrible communicators. They both take jabs at each other. Like that is not a friendship I want to be a part of, because they are so snide. They make those snide comments to each other, and it's just like those little things are just bound to build up as they have. Since season 1, honestly, they've been making like, you nasty, you a hoe, like all like, you know, she told me she had a broken pussy, like.
I forgot about that, bro.
Like,
I don't think that's fair, because if you listen to the story, it sounded like it was broken.
No.
And I think that, like, jokingly, that's cool, but when I agree with you, because when you start bringing up stuff like, just stuff that don't even need to be said.
Yeah.
It make it seem like you've been holding on to that for a moment.
When your friends bring up stuff that you tell them in confidence, use it against you when they're mad at you, that's a huge sign to me, and like, that would never be a friend of mine. So, one, I think they're both wrong, but two, I think that Molly, I don't like Molly because I feel like she's super like pretentious and she looks down on Issa, and she like, I feel like she gets some type of satisfaction from like having her life more put together than Issa.
It's almost,
and I feel like it's I just don't,
I almost feel like
hang out with people that she feel like are beneath her,
so that she can be the top dog. And
so like Issa said, I didn't hear Issa tell one lie. Nope. You so busy trying to fix everybody else's problems, you don't look at yourself, your life. She's a hater, and she's literally the worst type of friend that you could ever have. Like, you can't do it.
Yeah, Molly, she definitely does a whole lot of going back and forth and like taking stuff in confidence, like y'all said, using it against the other person. Hold on, wait. I know this is not the episode, but the parking spot thing. The parking spot,
that little thing.
That explained their whole friendship. She was like, I'm about to go. And she was like, okay. And then Issa started backing up, and then Miley started pulling in, and they was just real. They're not on the same page at all about anything. So I don't know. I just feel like Miley took a lot of jabs, but you know, Issa, I don't think she told any lies. Like, you so quick to talk down on somebody, but you really don't have your own stuff together. So let's get to it. Who do y'all feel like was wrong in this situation? When this argument happened, when Miley got there, they was having a good time, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Before they got into the argument, what happens? Issa basically, well, we find out that Issa basically went and asked Nathan to reach out to Andrew about the whole Spotify artist thingy or whatever. And Miley didn't know that. She finds this out from Andrew, and then she approaches Issa about it. Do y'all feel like Miley was wrong or Issa was wrong about the whole situation?
I feel like going all the way back to the last episode where Miley was just like, oh, I just want to protect this. I really care about this relationship. Like, in general, I feel like creating boundaries between your relationship and your friendship is like a perfectly reasonable thing to do. I just feel like, as a friend, like me personally, I would never not help my friend out, especially when it comes to their career, when I know that I can. Like, I wouldn't feel right not saying anything. Like, if I say something and he doesn't receive it well, I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm not going to press it. Like,
right. Especially that's my best friend.
Yeah.
That's my
twice about it.
Yeah.
That's damn near like my sister.
And I personally just feel like, what are you losing by asking him to do this for Issa? What are you losing in your relationship by doing that?
This boundary doesn't exist. This isn't even a real boundary that you're setting.
And that's what Issa said too. She was like, this is some rule that you just made up out of nowhere. And she was like, no, like, these are boundaries.
What does that even mean?
I
don't want my man to help you with. I heard it in her voice, or not in her voice, and what she said. She specifically said, "You gonna help her while I'm mad at her." So it wasn't about the boundary.
It's about your feelings. It's about your feelings.
Spiteful, and you stupid, because at least if you gonna be spiteful, date a nigga that's spiteful.
And you know what? I appreciate Andrew's character because he seems like the voice of reason in their relationship, but she don't like that. You know, she that one person that don't want to hear.
I really love him.
But he didn't even know.
He didn't know.
He don't know what's going on between them. So he like, what's the issue with me?
When he said sorry, I was so mad when he apologized.
Yeah, he did say sorry.
I was so mad.
But he didn't have to. I don't know, man. I just feel like he was really trying to help, and because of her own personal vendetta or whatever she had going on, she just felt like, I don't know, I just hate people that try to choose both sides in that way. Like, we not cool, but we cool. Like, I'm not cool with you, but I'm still gonna show up to your event because I'm showing face, and that's really how it be. Like,
I feel like she was wrong on like so many different levels, because like, not only did Issa like respect her boundary by not using her to get to Andrew, she used the person that introduced her to Andrew, who is Nathan.
Now Issa's all wrong on that.
She met Nathan first.
Right.
Nathan introduced her to Andrew. Period.
Right.
She met Andrew and Molly. So there would be no Andrew and Molly if Issa had never met Nathan. So I don't think it's wrong.
Oh, you taking it all the way back.
Connection to get to Andrew.
You got receipts. Sis got receipts.
I tell you no when it comes
to
my man, no matter what my safety is. Don't go behind my back in front of that.
Okay, wait. So y'all feel like Issa was wrong in that sense? Is that where we going now? Okay.
And I had to take a step
weird
further.
thing she was wrong is like Molly's intentions were completely wrong. Like, I agree with y'all. We all agree on that. And she should have never said that it was a problem. She should have did it. But once I say no, when it comes to me and mine, ain't no.
Ain't nothing else to it.
Yeah. So like yesterday, I was all like, Molly's wrong. But then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, Issa also, but it's also the space they're at in their relationship. Had they been genuine friends, then Issa probably would have came to Molly and be like, hey, I know you don't want to help, but, you know, would you mind if I asked Nathan to help you? Like, had they been that solid in their friendship? But because that all bets was off. It's like,
they don't even communicate well enough to do that.
Exactly.
At all. And then it was so
anybody normal would have did. They don't communicate well enough.
My thing is, like, I'm not saying I would put a friendship over my career, but, like, as we can all see, like, Issa has put so much energy into this block party, and she, like, this is her passion project, and, like, this is something that she really, like, is going to propel her career forward. So I'm just like, okay, like, things are rough with this friend. Like, I mean, I feel like I personally would try to exhaust all options before I just, like, take an L on something as big as what this was for Issa. Like, I don't know. I would be like, okay, like the relationship was shitty regardless, so we can patch that up later. But I'm gonna make this move so I can propel myself forward, and we can sort this out along the way. But like, I just don't think it's wrong for her to be like that was a moment for Issa to be selfish, in my opinion. Like, she hasn't had many wins, like, at all.
No, sis has not had any wins.
But I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and
she should have done what she did. Especially when Nathan probably offered, but she should have gave Molly a heads up.
And they went after that's not what they had their relationship.
Nathan, blah, blah, blah.
And I think part of it is Issa knew that wasn't where they were at anymore. So I think in part, she kind of knew what she was doing. I don't think it was like, oh, my bad, whoops. I think she knew, like, okay, let me just go around and maybe this won't get back to her type thing. So I don't think she was completely innocent in that. And I do understand that whole, if I tell you this is between me and my man, I don't want nothing else in between that. Like, leave it at that. But it's both. But it's both. It's both at this point because you got your best friend. It's very personal and it's very business. But I think that is part of Issa's downfall a lot of times is she mixes those two things together so cohesively. Like it's always like one and the same, business and personal. Like we can be friends and we can be business, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't always work like that. Like it's hard to be in business with your friends because you run into stuff like that. Like it gets real personal. And then when you try to set boundaries, now I'm the bad guy or whatever. So I just feel like that's part of her downfall. She just really is going to learn that the hard way that just does not work. Like trying to do both. Like trying to do both just does not work.
I don't even think Issa would have went to Molly on some real shit because Molly not only said no, she tried to get at Issa talking about what was your contract and right. She tried to like throw little jabs on her and other stuff.
She did.
So, like, don't forget about that. She basically told her, "I don't want to help you because I don't trust you to do something to pull this off." So that's why.
Right.
And it was
not only her saying no to Andrew. It's like, okay, now let me find some fault in you. It's like, then why would I even tell you? Like, I don't even want to deal with that.
And it was so awkward because once everything happened and they had the artists up there performing and stuff, you know, Andrew was like, see, it turned out good, didn't it? She like, yeah, this is so good. This is so good. But I felt like somewhere inside of her, okay, this is how I feel about Molly. I feel like she's one of those friends that's like, I want you to do good, but never better than me. I feel like she is one of those friends.
I want Issa to have a man. You gotta be single if she got a man. Like, if Issa wanted to start messing with Nathan again or start messing with Lawrence again, she will find a reason to be mad about that. You always want drama in your life. If I want to date 12 people at one time, that's none of your business.
Yeah, I just feel like she is one of those friends. And it's like, it sucks because it's like you really don't know where y'all stand. You see them smiling in your face. You know, they support you from a distance. But then it's like, But then when But then when you level up,
we upgraded.
Yeah, when you level up, especially if y'all are in the same industry. It's one thing if y'all are in two different industries, especially for them because they're in two different industries. Like you got lawyer and then you got, you know, artists, like creative. But it's like, especially if y'all are in the same industry and you feel like your friend is like leveling up over you, like that can get real competitive. And so I could only imagine if they were in the same industry, like how bad that would be. Like I feel like you trying to be more successful than me, so let me, you know, knock you down a couple inches so you can come back down to earth type thing. So for them to not even be in the same playing field, like it's just kind of crazy that like she still feels a way about that. Because y'all can't even compare y'all journeys. Like your professional journeys are so different. So I don't know. I just feel like she's one of those type of friends. So what's the verdict, y'all? Do we feel like one person was
the problem and we're done with it?
So we feel like
I'm just so interested to see how this goes for me.
I just can't believe she decided to kick off at her event like that.
But you know what, Kamaria, does that surprise you?
One thing, but like
no.
And Ny'Ea bossed up on me, push your finger in my face.
She was all in her face with it, and I was like, whoa, like y'all get real disrespectful.
You're a little too hyped for me. Take it from the too.
Yeah, she needs to
say, what you gonna do about it? And don't.
So now I'm very interested to see what the next episodes look like, because basically Issa don't really got no friends besides Kelly and Tiffany, but they kind of in their own world as usual. So it's like she really
don't got no friends either.
She got Nathan.
Yeah, Molly don't got no friends either.
Molly got a man, but her man gonna get tired of her real quick. They're not.
He is getting tired of her.
I can't wait to get tired of her.
Because Andrew is such a good person, and he's gonna see like, damn, Molly like
you just can't never have a win. Sometimes indirectly, like, you may not see how, like, parental relationships are, like, the way you were raised or whatever. And we don't know a whole lot about her home life for real. But indirectly, sometimes that does affect how you behave in relationships with people. And you don't connect the dots until later on down the line. Like, okay, I seen what my parents were doing, or I seen this, I experienced this in, like, my family. So, like, I just have a hard time dealing with love or trusting people or being okay with somebody loving me. Like, as ridiculous as that sounds, some people have a really hard time letting people love them genuinely because they don't trust that they can do it. They don't trust that it's real.
I feel like that's something that you would see in a relationship with, like, if this was happening in her relationship with Andrew, then, like, I would understand that. But I don't see why that's showing up in her relationship with Issa, especially since they've been friends forever. Like, I don't get why that's a problem. I think that it's more of... I don't think it's her parents that are causing her issue.
No, I don't think so.
Because she felt like her parents lied to her basically her whole life. And, like, when you're hurt, you usually take it out on people that are closest to you, unfortunately. So that's why I feel like maybe she's taking out the hurt and the anger and being lied to by her parents and resenting her mother for staying with her dad. Maybe, you know, all of that tension.
Yeah, and I don't know though, because I feel some type of way about the fact that she, like, when you compare how she treats her relationship with Andrew versus how she treats her relationship with Issa, like, she's very protective of her relationship with Andrew. She wants to fix things. She wants to compromise. Yada yada yada. Like, you can see she's able to communicate with people with what she really wants. She's choosing not to do that with Issa. So I don't even think it's about romantic relationships. I think she was not fucking with Issa.
Exactly. I agree.
I just think she's having a hard time adapting and loving Issa through her changes. Like, Issa's growing. She's not that same person she was the first 3 seasons. She's not, you know, she has 2 jobs at this point. Like, her apartment is together. She's figuring out what she wants in her love life, you know, like, and Issa is growing through that. And Molly's just not, she's not able to love Issa where she is now. And she's stuck at this person that she's known for.
And I like...
You like the bum. You like the bum. You like the one who didn't have nothing. The one who had, like, the problems. The one that you had to fix because it took you away from your own issues.
I don't know, man. She needs to not be in a relationship. She got a lot to work on, for real. Well, guys, that was a very, like, in-depth discussion. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in.